Alright, I would like to welcome everyone to the BCSO meeting today, July 10th, 2020. We just have a few things to go over tonight. The first thing is the new vehicle test skins that are about to become in game. Fitzgerald has found someone to work on those. We will have at least 6 or 7 textures coming in game shortly for members to test. I did request that the 18 Tahoe, the Explorer, and the 13 Tahoe be skinned. So we're going to spread that around for you guys to test to see how y'all like them. I think they're pretty cool. If you want to get a picture from them, you can either just message Adams or Fitzgerald, or actually you can message Kendall too if you want to get a preview of what they look like. I'm not going to send those over this meeting. Second topic, because I'm going to blow through these first two topics really quickly. We are working on updating the uniform roster. Is there anything that y'all want or any ideas that y'all want to put in the roster? This is your time to speak.
Yes.
Nothing green.
Hold on. He meant. I will post the pictures in general chat later. I already have 6 fucking DMs.
You had a cowboy hat?
May I speak now?
Yes.
I'd like to say, can we have, I want to wear armor the whole time, I understand it's a priority thing, but, why can't we all just wear armor the whole time? It seems like something that isn't that expendable.
Alright, so I'm going to explain the thing about body armor real quick, okay? That's not regular body armor. That's a plate carrier. Plate carriers weigh almost 80 pounds, depending on what kind of armor and what extra tools you have on them. The reason why we don't wear them is because they're unrealistic. They're plate carriers. You don't see regular patrolmen wearing plate carriers. The only people you really see wearing plate carriers are SWAT.
I see some, what about the armor class that the SAS use? What is that?
That's another plate carrier. We do have some non-plate carriers, but the one that we have it's a plate carrier. That's why it's only really allowed during priorities. I really don't want it at all. It's not it's not a true vest that you would actually be wearing unless you were, an SRT.
Right. With that being said, as well, you guys noticed that sergeants, I believe it's sergeant or staff sergeant plus can patrol with it. But like Dave said, there's a specific reason why we have that initiated.
And you have Kevlar under your clothes, so there's that too.
Yeah. If we're really honestly looking at a realistic perspective there, but yeah, anyway, that's why we have that fitted there.
Okay, I heard cowboy hat.
No. I did not.
Somebody said cowboy hat.
Nobody said cowboy hat.
I'll say it if anyone doesn't want to.
Reagan,
cowboy hat.
I mean, I don't think anybody is 01 here. 01 is making the decisions for us. So
I'm just saying, realistically, I have not seen a regular patrol officer with a cowboy hat. Only the state trooper hat.
In Texas, yes, they do.
Yeah, in the South they do.
My mission here at BCSO is to make it realistic. We're keeping a strict uniform structure. So the new one coming out is going to be very strict. It's going to look professional, but it's going to be strict, and it's going to actually be a little lenient than the one you're already in. It's going to be a little more, let's just say, it's going to be more t-shirt, not a button-up.
Yeah, I think the ones that you posted are fantastic. Just a normal, the one that you showed me. I can post a picture.
For anybody spamming Adams about the new vehicles, I put 2 of them in BCSO General if you guys want to go and have a look. I put the new Durango and the new F-150. It's the K9 variant, so it won't be on the normal one, but yeah, it's there.
Actually, yeah, okay.
That's
next question.
Any more? This is your chance to speak freely. Because after this meeting, this is the last time I'm taking any suggestions from anyone about the uniforms.
Okay, if nobody's going to talk, somebody just asked what rank is the Durango. We are redoing our vehicle fleet. That is later down the road. Don't ask about it now. We'll figure it out later down the road. That is not something to worry about now. And whoever I cut off, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, no, I forgot, Adams.
I'm sorry.
I'll remember. Are we actually going through with shorts?
No. Maybe.
No,
I don't know.
that's a possibility in the next uniform structure. Actually, one person that did go test it with me was Joel, and he seemed to like it. So it's different. You know, we're in a California-based server. You do have officers in shorts. Officers can wear shorts. It's not preferred, but you can.
Right.
You know, another thing is I'm looking at too is variants, and I'm gonna go ahead with the drop leg holsters. Okay, the only people really should be wearing drop leg holsters are SRT and K9. Really, even normal, so high up, so sheriff, SO2, rank in real life, they wouldn't be wearing drop leg holsters. They'd be wearing just the normal holster. That's another thing being looked at because I'm really just trying to get realism here, and I'm trying not to be a dick about it. And some people aren't gonna like the new uniforms, and so is it. And my thing is, if you don't like anything here, the door's always open. There's different departments in the community. You had a good run here at SO. Just don't. What I notice is when we release something, people really just go into like general chat and just start trashing things. Don't be that person, because if I catch you doing that, it's not going to be good. Anyone else?
As far as vehicle, Durango's colonel, right?
Oh my Jesus fucking Christ!
Adams. We're trying to have a meeting here. Stay professional.
Because look at it. I don't know if you guys updated the rosters or not, but
That specific Durango is a new one that we don't currently have a livery for, and that currently doesn't have an unmarked livery.
No,
Okay,
no,
so
I
the
understand
vehicle
that.
structure. The vehicle structure that is going to come with our new uniform structure. As soon as our new vehicle and uniform structure are released, those both will be released at the same time. So don't worry about it.
So the statistics right now in the United States with police vehicles is most patrolmen. So you guys are all considered patrolmen. Even your rank, you're still considered a patrolman. So I'm still a patrolman at the end of the day. Most patrolmen are in SUVs now. The most liked police car in America is the Tahoe.
Yes.
Doesn't guarantee that cadets and deputies will get the Tahoe, but we're looking at it. There's also older Tahoe. Things like that. We're looking at the options, trying to keep it realistic here.
May I say something now?
Sure.
When is the new stuff gonna be coming out?
Unknown date right now.
Okay, no problem.
Fitzgerald just posted a picture of the 13 or 06. It's the 06 Tahoe in general chat as well.
And the 06 Tahoe is basically what all the cars are going to look like. Okay, it's going to have the emergency 911 in the back, the American flag in the front, the BCSO emblem on the hood, and then that mountain logo on the side, and then in the back it just says Sheriff, Blaine County, and then it has some chevron deal that actually looks really good.
Dave, may I ask?
What's up?
So, with the 14 Charger, we've been having light problems, and do we know when that's supposed to be getting fixed?
Okay, the thing with the 14 Charger, take off the front light bar. It's the visor lights. The two front visor lights, if you take those off, the vehicle works perfectly fine.
Okay.
But unknown when that's going to get fixed. That's above my head. So does anyone else have anything to talk about vehicles and uniforms? We're going to move on to the next topic, the real big thing that I needed to bring up.
Nope, we should be good.
Alright, so the next thing that's on my list is, guys, I don't know if you noticed on Discord in the roster, ranks have changed. Some ranks have been brought in, some ranks have disappeared.
Yep.
So from this point forward on, let me look at the roster. We're going to have the, wait for my roster to load. We're going to have the sheriff, the undersheriff, the chief deputy, the two colonels. Now we're adding 2 majors. We're going to have a total of 6 captains, 6 lieutenants. We're going to have staff sergeants. All that still stays the same except the 2 majors being added. Now we're going to BCSO patrol. You have corporals, deputy 3, deputy 2, and deputy 1. So the main thing about deputy 1, deputy 2, deputy 3 is the vision of this is no one's moving up fast anymore in this department. We've had to move people up, to get a staff team, which is okay. That was understandable by the owner. But from this point forward, no one is moving up fast. You're waiting your 2 weeks, and then I'm going to let Fitz talk about something that the FTO department's about to initiate with that, with promotions now. So, if you're a cadet or a deputy 1, you report to sergeants. Sergeants will be your direct supervisors in game and out of game. If you have any questions regarding the sheriff's department, you report to your sergeant. Any sergeant that has a sergeant tag. Deputy 2, deputy 3, and corporals, you report to staff sergeants. Your staff sergeants will be your direct supervisors in game and out of game. Same thing, if you have any questions regarding the sheriff's department, you report to the staff sergeants. Sergeants and staff sergeants, you report directly to lieutenants. Same thing, lieutenants will be your direct supervisor in game and out of game. If you have any questions, you report to them. Lieutenants, they report to SO7 major. You can see on the roster, you have the lieutenant oversight and the captain oversight. That major will be their direct supervisor in game and out of game and answer any questions. Captains report to the SO06 major. Same thing, this major will, answer any questions, be your direct in-game supervisor, anything like that. With that is when I say the people you need to report to, because I just said it, and you can listen to this recording again, that's the person you're strictly going to report to. If you do not report to that person, if you ask a question, so if you're a Deputy 3 and you ask a Lieutenant a question, you're going to be receiving a strike in the department. Chain of command is being strictly enforced from this point forward. There's no more skipping around. I'm going to make that clear here. And the captains, lieutenants, you need to stop people if they skip around. Same with sergeants and staff sergeants. Y'all need to put control on your people. And if they skip above you, make a report, and it will be handled through HR. Fitz, I'm going to let you talk about the new field training stuff.
Sure. So essentially what our goal was with as Dave said, with the new deputy ranks, with some of the changes, is to make it so promotions aren't as fast-tracked, I guess. It was at the point where pretty much everybody was getting promoted every week and a half, and there was no strict, requirements for each promotion other than be active was the general guideline. We wanted to change that and have something a little more solid that you guys can aim to get within those 2 weeks. Obviously, keep in mind, completing the requirements doesn't guarantee you a promotion, it just means you're now eligible for one. As well as that, it's a way for us to check with activity and for people we're promoting and make sure that the people that are getting promotions are actually showing interest. So for Deputy 1 to Deputy 2, we'll be looking for at least 15 hours logged as patrol. For 2 to 3, we'll be looking for 30 hours. The 15 hours previously continue on, so an extra 15 hours, and have shown interest in and joined a sub-department. Deputy 3 to Corporal, you will have had to have 45 hours logged as patrol and attended an advanced training. Corporal to Sergeant will be 60 hours logged as patrol and attended a second advanced training. Sergeant to Staff Sergeant will have to have completed a total of 10 hours worth of ride-alongs and co-hosted an academy. Staff Sergeant to Lieutenant will have completed 20 hours of ride-alongs and co-hosted 5 academies were hosted. And then Lieutenant to Captain will have to host 3 advanced trainings and complete 10 hours worth of evaluations. So that's the general guidelines. Obviously, we're going to see how they go. If some of them are a little too high or a little too low, they're subject to change, but that's what we're working with for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link with those right in general chat if you guys want to have a read over them in your own time.
Hey Fitz, I got a question. Captain to Major. What are the requirements?
That's pretty sure that's at command discretion. Like there's no FTO requirement for that, at least currently.
Okay, so if we do like a staff application, that won't do anything, right?
Like submit a staff application or hand?
Like,
what do you mean?
You know how like the previous where we did a staff application from staff sergeant to lieutenant. Is that
pretty sure that system was removed?
Okay,
quite a while ago.
I was curious how captains would move up to major. That's all.
Yeah, that'd be a command question, not something I'm aware of.
Yeah,
I don't know.
something?
Go for it.
Yeah, go ahead, Madison.
All right. I used to go on this. I have an easier way of people clocking hours than your system now. So there's this thing called Clockify. We used to use it on a cartel I used to be in. It's really easy. All you have to do is open up your phone. All you have to do is click on duty, and then what else you're doing on duty, patrol, like that. And then you click start time, and then you could leave your phone on or turn it off. Doesn't matter. But then when you're done, you turn it off. But if people log more than 12 hours in one day, we can do a system where you could just check on them to see if they're still online. If they're not, just stop their time and wipe it. Because if they AFK farm like that, that's just not okay.
So the thing with the document we have now is you are supposed to put your end time and your start time. The easiest way we track it with that is, like I was explaining Fitzgerald earlier, is I click Control F and I type your name in, and it pops up every time you've been in patrol, shows me all your information and highlights it. I don't think we're going to move to that system. I like the system we're on because it's easier for command staff to just hit Control F and type your name in.
Hey Dave, I just want to let you know the message I just sent you. You can go ahead and look at that later, not right now.
No, major promotions, captains, major promotions will be command discretion.
Okay, sounds good.
I have a question real fast.
Alright.
Is there any way for people to know how many hours they've logged so they know what to shoot for?
What we'll do with that is, and if people do want that, we'll just sit down one day, get together with you, and just go over your hours. Personally,
If it's
Fitz, Pickerel, Jay, Adams, Dickens, we'll sit down with you and go over that.
if it's FTO duties, just shoot me a DM and I can send that right to you. It's not a problem for any Sergeant Plus that's curious.
I'm talking about like the activity logs. How many hours?
Yeah, patrol
totally
hours.
logged? Yeah.
Yeah, again, just message. I don't have access to that currently, but we'll work on a system for that and we'll let you guys know.
Hey Dave, can you still see all of our direct hours, including like when you asked us to change our call signs and we put a different call sign in the FTO or the Department Activity Tracker?
It's all done by your name, not done by your call sign.
10-4.
So wait, do we actually have to like log in on the FT? It's the FTO activity tracker? Is that what it is that we use?
Only the FTOs should be using that document.
Okay.
You should be using the regular activity sheet.
Okay.
But just gonna make myself clear though, guys. The people I told you to report to, I'm gonna put it in chat. You need to report to them. There's no more coming. If I get another DM in my DM, from anyone, it better be very serious. People will be getting in trouble. Chain of command is being forced from this point forward.
Hey, Dave. I sent you my email. Add me to that activity sheet.
You already have access.
Not the department one.
You do. I'll send you the link.
It's the one on BCSO main links.
No, it's in the updated BCSO files in Google Drive. In that folder. Alright, so the next thing, since we're moving on, Fitzgerald, if there's anything else you need to say about that.
No, I think that's pretty much it from me.
Alright, so next thing to move on, guys, is so y'all know how we moved to this Discord, right? Meeting 1 and 2 on the main Discord server, which is the regular, server that used to be on, that is strictly for department meetings with other department interviews. You're still allowed to use the general chat rooms, so the voice channels, the general ones, and that same goes for the whitelisted chats and the general voice chats. Do not be hanging out in that server unless you're in one of those channels, the general voice chats, the whitelisted voice chats, or anything like that. You can still use the chat, the typing chats, but do not expect and do not hang out in meeting 1 and 2. If you are, it's going to face some consequences. This Discord is our Discord. Pretend this is your building. Use this as your building. One thing I want Adams to go over with y'all is the 50-50 rule. I know this has been brought up with command staff quite a bit. A lot of people are abusing that and taking advantage of it. Adams, can you go ahead and go over that with them?
Yeah, love to. If you are in a subdivision, this is pointed toward you. If you are not in a subdivision, listen, because soon you will be. If you're in a subdivision, we got a 50-50 rule. 50-50 means 50% normal Leo duty. So you're driving around BCSO in a normal patrol car, in your normal uniform, all that good stuff. And then 50% of the time you are active as your subdivision. I've been getting a lot of DMs about people spending all their time in their subdivision. Not going to say who or what subdivision, but if I personally see you start doing that, you're just going to get a department strike because I'm tired of listening about it. Because I mean, we've gone over this with many of you. I mean, I've even seen head and assistant heads doing it. If you are not doing 50-50, you're going to get striked. Simple as that.
So what that means is if you do 2 hours of your subdivision, that means you have to do 2 hours of regular patrol. Simple as that. So whatever time you do your subdivision, you have to do for your regular patrol. So that means getting in a regular outfit and getting in the streets.
And I'm gonna add this in too. I've had someone doing it. They say they do 1 day as their subdivision, and then they hop on the next day and go normal patrol. We're not doing that anymore. For as long as you're on patrol. So if you hop on right now and you're on for 2 hours, 1 hour is going to be your subdivision, 1 hour is going to be your normal patrol. Because we've got people abusing that, people doing 2 days as their subdivision and then 2 days as their normal patrol. We're not going to do that anymore. It's going to be every shift. It's going to be 50-50. Hey, I got a question about 50-50. What if you go on as patrol as sub, then you have to leave for emergency or something? Do you still get striked? No, but just don't abuse that. Don't abuse it. If you're leaving for emergencies and stuff like that every day because you don't want to go on active patrol, you're just gonna get removed from the department. Simple as that.
For that, I have to say, inform somebody that you're going to be going on an emergency.
Yep. There you go. But that's with the 50-50. For the ranks, you need to join a subdivision is senior deputy plus. But we're going to change that. It should be deputy 3 now. Or
Deputy 2
2.
plus.
Deputy 2 plus. I'll change that on the main links.
Alright, another thing I want to go over with you guys is I've seen a lot in TeamSpeak. As if you're in TeamSpeak, do not mute your volume. Do not mute your main audio. You can mute your mic, but do not mute your main audio while you're in our TeamSpeak server or any patrol channel. If you do, you'll be kicked from the server or moved to AFK. And don't get mad at the person, the admin or something that says, "Hey, you got to go," because you got your volume muted.
And
go ahead.
To add on to that about Dave saying RTO, I can't tell you how many times I've gone into RTO today and told people to spread out, and not one person has moved. We're SO guys. Come on. BCSO, let's show the other departments that we're better. Show them that when someone says something, you do it. I mean, show that you're listening to chain of command and that type of stuff. So if I ever go in RTO and tell you to spread out, USO guys, if you guys are the first to do it, that would be amazing. And I can't really do anything for other departments. But I'm going to try and talk to either Oblivious or somebody about it. But we're going to have a thing. I'm just going to start writing down names in RTO that just don't move and try to get a department strike because I'm tired of it. Or even if we can add a little counter at the top of each RTO that shows how many people are in it, because people aren't very smart and don't have the brain capacity to see what's even. But yeah, just spread out RTO. If you see 30 people in Blaine County and 2 in citywide, don't go to Blaine County. I know some of you guys don't have the best computers and you can't render the city as well. If that's the case, just go to highway RTO. Just go somewhere other than Blaine County, because everybody wants to be in Blaine County. Everybody wants a little bit of the action, and that's not what it's really about. We're here to just do one main purpose, and that's to patrol the streets and shit like that. We're not gonna sit there in an RTO with 30 different people screaming in our ears. I'm tired of it. That's all I got for RTO.
Can I ask a question about that?
What's up, Chief?
Let's say if I'm on a 10-11 in the city and you guys need people in Blaine County, do I need to 22 that 10-11 just to go to Blaine County?
So the only thing you should be 22ing your call on is a 1099. or a signal 100. If you hear 1099 and they need people in Blaine County, that is when you leave your 1011. You do not leave your 1011 for a 1080 just because you want to be primary. You don't do that anymore. But yeah, the only time you should be 22ing your 1011 or anything, it should be only for a 1099 or signal 100.
And another thing to bring up, the only people that can actually 22 calls is someone with a 1C, a 2C, 2D, a staff member. That's it. So
I thought...
the only people that can 22 your calls is a staff member.
Oh shit, I thought it was admin plus.
No, it's staff member. Staff members can 22 your calls.
Okay, so the only people that should 22 your calls are... I meant, Pepper, when you said that, when I meant 22, I meant like you leave that scene. Not totally like just say, fuck it, 22 it, we're going to 22 everything. Just, I mean, 22, I kind of think of it as cancel it or get it over with. But if you're on a 1011 and you hear signal 100 or 1099, that is the only time you should be dropping anything and leaving that scene. Another thing is, we've got some people in the department, actually not very many, but if you are in a 1080 and let's say the guy's going 100 miles an hour, don't pit him. Do not pit anyone going over, what is it, Dave? Like 30?
No, you can 70.
Okay, 70 and under.
The only time you pit someone above 70 is if they're shooting at you.
There you go, boys. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but if you are not in a regular BCSO patrol vehicle, if you are in the Gator, if you are in the Bearcat, if you are in the MRAP, you cannot take primary on a 1080 and pit someone. Don't ask. Don't worry about it. Just don't do it.
Hey, Adam.
You can't believe it happened, but it did.
Yeah, not trying to interrupt on this part, but now that you brought it up, I am also being told that SRT training is not teaching his people the understanding of that. So whoever does SRT training, we need to make sure that that rule is enforced with them. That way they can't go around saying that they don't know.
May I say something now?
The only people that can perform pits and Bearcats is in Texas. That's it.
Oh, and I'm glad somebody said that in general chat. If you are active K9 and you have a dog in the back of your vehicle, you shouldn't be pitting. Yeah, that is another car you cannot pit anyone.
That's in the SOP too, so you guys should know that.
The only way you can do that and get around with that is if it's an extreme emergency. That's it. Extreme emergency. That means there's danger to people around them, danger to you, and danger to other people.
I have one question, because I'm in SRT, and the other day we had someone shooting out of their vehicle, and we had to deploy as SRT and our SWAT members. Would we technically still be following behind to make sure no one's hit or anything, or would we take primary and trace them to make sure that no one else is getting hit, and we take the bullets with the Bearcat?
Okay.
So okay, I'm gonna explain this. So at that moment, SRT should be moving ahead of these people in faster vehicles. I'm not talking about GTR, and neutralizing the threat, setting a sniper on a bridge, setting a sniper on the road. Deploying rifles. Tell your units to back off and just shoot them. If you're getting in that scenario, SRT should be moving ahead and neutralizing the threat once they make it crossing.
That's what I thought, and I was trying to tell. I think it was Huffman or Elmo that was with us. He said just to keep following them with the 1080.
What's being clarified for SRT in the SOP since the prior incident with a Bearcat taking primary is that if you are in a 1080, you shouldn't be engaging directly in it. You should either stay behind and wait until they've stopped the vehicle and then move up and help to secure the suspect, or if it is a case like that, move ahead and preemptively set up a roadblock, set up a sniper, something like that.
Okay.
I mean, regardless if there is shots in the 1080, they should be calling it off and star chasing anyway. And you guys are more than free to follow along with the star chase, but you should never be primary or secondary. That's not really your responsibility. The only people with the vehicles for that, even in SRT, are myself and Davis currently.
And I mean, even if you're SRT and you're in a 1080, go in front of those fuckers and slam on your goddamn brakes. You're in a fucking Bearcat. The Bearcat's not gonna move. I mean, just don't be stupid with it.
You have to think tactically in that decision, any type of decision. 1080s are more. It's not it's a tactical decision in any 1080 that includes your life. It's tactical. You have to think tactical. What's the quickest method you're going to stop them? What is the method you're going to stop them with? If it results in gunfire, it's gunfire. But you need to make sure you tell your units to back off.
And I know a couple command members, we've been talking about this for a while now. We have not set anything in stone yet, but just know if you are doing a ride-along with PD, it does not matter if it is regular PD or it is PD SWAT. And it's been coming to command's attention that every time PD and SO are together, dumb shit happens. So just think that you're going to be able to get that privilege taken away from you. So just all I got to say is use your brains. I mean, we say it's a realistic server. We try to make it as realistic as possible. I know there's people in the server that make it hard to do that, but just use your brains. I mean, that's all I got to say. Use your brains. Make it as realistic as possible, please.
May I add some?
What's up?
SWAT is not allowed to be engaged in 1090 or in 1080s.
Okay.
Anymore.
So yeah, that rule, that's right. SWAT's not supposed to be in any 1080, but that doesn't stop you from being tactical about it. Going ahead, sniper. Going ahead, men with rifles. Roadblocks. That doesn't stop you.
But yes, you are correct, Spencer. There, if you're in SWAT and you are in the Bearcat, I don't know what y'all did with your vehicles, but Bearcat, Suburban, Tahoe, whatever it is, don't be in the 1080. Don't be doing call outs. Don't be doing nothing like that. Go ahead of them, cut them off, get a roadblock on the side of the road, get your rifles over the hood, and just blast them. I mean, that's what you should be doing. You should not be behind or asking to take primary. If I hear you taking primary in SRT, if you are in SRT and I hear you taking primary over RTO when I'm active, you're gonna be out of SRT. Simple as that.
So
okay, I got a question.
I gotta start wrapping things up, guys. Jay, Pickerel, do y'all have anything? Because these questions are really just I don't need to put in the recording.
No, I have nothing really.
I mean, but
so I'm gonna go ahead and terminate the recording. Thank y'all for coming, but y'all can whoever needs to stay back, y'all can stay back for questions. All right.
Yep. If